Thank you everybody for joining this morning. For those of you watching this video, here are some of the participants of our last tour to Peru, the Rebirth of the Soul, and they were kind enough to spend some time of their Sunday to give us feedback. And uh, the idea is that you guys share information that is going to be useful for other people that want to join in the future. And every group is different. Every group is special in a way. And I notice how your group connected very, very well. And this is where the magic takes place. Hi, Anna. Welcome. Welcome, welcome.
And
Good. So let's start with questions. Let's start with the expectations. And let's start with Sabrina. Sabrina, what expectations do you have when you sign up for this trip, for this tour?
well, my initial interest was in the archaeological sites
Hmm.
and the cultural aspect because I have traveled to many sites in Mexico, the Mayan ruins,
Hmm.
and Mixtec and many other sites. So that was my predominant interest.
And you being an
Um,
artist,
yes, absolutely. And I I was not prepared to have so much more experience. Like I didn't know what I expected, but my expectation, I guess, if I had one, was to see the archaeological sites and the land and the culture.
and the culture. So what was your experience? Um, Once you started experiencing, well, not only, of course, we toured Lima for a couple of days, but let's talk about Cusco. What was your experience in Cusco?
Well, I really experienced quite an opening, I would say, as far as the whole trip goes. I felt like I had spiritual growth. Um, the appreciation and connection to the land was
Absolutely.
paramount. I didn't know that I was a mountain person. So the spirits of the mountain, the Apu, really made an impression on me. Um, I guess, I mean, there were so many things, but those might be among
Awesome.
the largest for me, and artistically, of course.
Oh yeah, lots of that in
Mhm.
Cusco. So very good, and we'll continue talking more about these details of the trip. So thank you, Sabrina. Let's move to
Mhm.
Danny and Nicole. What was your This is interesting, Nicole, because it was your first time on a plane.
Every
First
first
time on a
time.
plane, first time out of the country. You are from Canada. What were your expectations, you and Danny's expectations, and what was your experience?
Well, for me, I was nervous um because of everything. Um, but I really, really enjoyed everything because I love nature. So for me, everything I looked at was wow and wow. And that's all I could say because I loved everything that I saw, the mountains, the river, the lake. Every place that I visited was just magical. And I loved all the places that we visited. Um, so it was just I didn't have any expectations because I didn't know. I just wanted to go with an open mind
Right.
and whatever happens and whatever comes. So that's how I went there with no expectations. And it was just really, really beautiful. And I want to go back.
You want to go
I really want to go
anytime.
back. But it's like my husband says, well, we'll go visit other places. There's other places we would
Of
like to
course.
see. But I really want to go back. It's a place that calls me a lot.
It
Hmm.
happens to
And I
me
want to
as well. Every year I feel like Cusco is calling me for a reason, the energy in the place.
Cusco. I loved Cusco, the energy. I felt home. I felt just at ease, easygoing. People are friendly. It's just like your home, sort of. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. And Danny, what about yourself? You decided to go with us, this whole bunch of crazy people talking about spirituality and past lives and spirits. What was your expectation? What were your expectations and what did you experience?
Well, it's not something that I was planning to go. I went with my wife because she was just starting traveling and
Hmm.
said, maybe I'm gonna miss something if I'm not going. So I was going there with no intention, but I was happy to end there with her and
Very
with
good.
all of you guys because we had fun and it was different than a normal trip
Yeah,
for me.
and I was going to ask you this question to both of you, right? In this case, well, Nicole's first time out of the country. How was the contrast of living in Canada and going to Peru, where you see all kind of things, right? You see people that have money. You see a lot of people connecting with the land and culture and heritage and archaeological sites. So, what was your experience? It's a whole different world for you.
The culture, I like the culture. Um, but for me was the food.
The
Mm.
You
food,
used to
right?
say the food was amazing. Everybody, so how was Peru? The food, like it's so tasty. There's no chemicals. It's all natural. And I ate a lot of vegetables because it was so good.
All kind of
For me, it
restaurants
was
for
the
every kind
food.
of client, right?
Yeah,
It's
there's
good.
something for everyone.
Yeah. And when I talk about poverty, of course, I'm talking about the lack of material possessions.
Yes,
However, you see them happy. They
Mhm.
right.
might have a piece of land, a small house made of mud and bricks, maybe one or two animals, and they're happy, connected with the land, and they're happy with what they have and with who they are. So
Yes.
it's an eye opening for everybody saying we don't need that much to be happy,
Mhm.
really. You know.
Right.
It's good. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Danny. Jean, what was what were your expectations and your experience?
Well, I knew that it was, going to be a beautiful trip that and I'm like Nicole. I feel like I need to go back. I want to go back. Um,
Okay.
but for me, I go with little expectation and I just trust that this is going to be wonderful, that the people that I meet up with, I was meant to be with, that we planned this, and that we were meant to be together and experience this beautiful place together. And
So
so it's all bonus, everything is meant to be for me. And I mean, the food and every moment on the land and is just magical, really.
yeah, okay.
And really just staying in the moment and enjoying every bit of it. And I will say though that Kevin's book, I mean, I'm reading the book that like Shamanic Mysteries of Peru. It's like I'm doing my studying now on
Okay.
shamanism and all that. So the trip really
Okay.
hooked me, and now I'm learning more and more.
Right. It
You know,
opens you up to other realities, right?
Mhm.
And
well, yes, and just experiencing Pachamama. I mean, and understanding the feminine, the Gaia from that part of the world, the Andean, and shamanically, the Pacos. And I will say that the Paco message to me, Antonio, was take it easy.
take it easy. Yeah, for those of you
You
hearing
know?
this word, the word Paco, it's kind of the Andean priest. And if you guys watch the videos, there's an offering to Pachamama, Mother Earth. That is a Paco. That was a very special ceremony. It was good. And you could tell that the Paco was gifted because he was giving specific messages to each of you, I mean, each of us. And that's exactly what we needed to hear. He was, in a way, I would say he was channeling, right? And also, if you watch those videos, you'll see somebody dancing. That's Jean, that she was dancing. Oh, you only see her from the back. You were dancing on the train.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
It was really hard to breathe, I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, I know. It takes time to adjust to the altitude. I always say, right?
Yes.
We need to get there at least one day before we do
Yeah.
anything. And the day that we start doing things is actually a workshop. So you have really 2 days without exercising. So it gives you time to adjust to the altitude, which is really, really important. You cannot just get there and start doing things. You need to rest the first day. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your input, Jean. Irina, what about you? What about your expectations and your experience?
So I'm with you in the group in all those practices the year before. And Peru was one of the places I want to visit on my list.
Okay.
With you guys, I'm safe. You get the best experience. You see the things what me interessiert for the nature, for the cultural, but in the same way, there's going to be something what is bring me on the way I want to be.
Okay.
You surrounded, you not just go to like book some trip and you don't know who you meet. You know the people who are around you,
Right.
the same interest like you, the same vibration like you.
You share the same interest. You can talk about the same stuff.
I was not expecting. But it was amazing in Cusco. Like for me, was the shock the first day when we come and we went to the restaurant, and they didn't try to sort us some food, expensive food. They say, "Oh no, 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 no! Your first day you eat soup." So for them, it was more important to have the caring for the people than like for money.
Right.
And food, oh my God, like we missed it. I still getting like we were together in the same restaurant and you eat some hamburger and I'm still upset they didn't get this hamburger.
Okay.
Animals, the beauty of the nature, people, the shamans, all this culture, all this thing that you have to experience to know what you're talking about. Like it was just
It's difficult to put it in words, the connection, right?
and it's very important to get with us because you're the someone who grow up in the the people, you know where to bring us, you know the stories to tell us. Just make totally different experience. And again, the group, same the people, like people are the same. It
Yes.
was
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rina. Thank you. Anna, what about you? This was your second time with us too. What were your expectations and what is it you experienced for the second time? Because this was your second time with us to Cusco.
Yeah, it was the second time for me. I had no specific expectation, but I had a lot of curiosity what will happen this time. Because in 2020, my life changed so much after we had that trip.
That trip, everybody changed
Wow.
after that trip. Yeah.
Yes. And this time it was again a life-changing experience. I usually travel. When I travel, like first time when we went to Peru, I had spontaneous regression.
Mhm.
Okay, and I I used to do out of body, and I access different information when I'm there. But this time, my life really, really changed so much because it was I was not so much looking outside in the last um, 9 months. Today are 9 months since I came home. I was going inside. For me, those 9 months, and you gave the name the rebirth of the soul of that trip.
Right.
For me, it was like a rebirth, like I'm born again.
Right.
So the experience, it was an inside experience. And also the meeting we had with the shaman was very amazing for me, because everything he told me was real, and everything he told me it will happen.
I'm sorry to interrupt. He didn't know about your daughters, and he mentioned your daughters, right?
Yes, he didn't know I have two daughters, and he talked about them. And also he know nothing about me, but he told me everything, and also things that will happen in the next month, which I can confirm that happened.
Wow.
Well, so for me, like I told you before, 9 months today, I feel a totally different person.
Okay. Very good.
So I will go again and again there. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You know what? Two things, right? The name, the Rebirth of the Soul, was given by Tabash. You know, the Tabash is channeled by Blair Styra. And when we were organizing the first tour, Tabash came with that name, the Rebirth of the Soul. So I kept it because actually this is what happens. It's not just a tour. It's not a regular tour where we visit places, we go out, we go and eat, because number one, we're in a group and we share the same vibration, and we do workshops together. We help each other heal, and we go through this experience together. We start like a circle of energy, and we help each other heal. So something happens at the end of this trip, and it was difficult for me to explain at the beginning. But one of my videos, I explained that now I know why I felt the need to take people to Cusco. And the Paco, the shaman, said to me, "You are the bridge." He said, "You are the one that brings them here, and you take care of all of them." And well, he didn't know that. It's true. That's what happened. So, for all of us that go to Cusco, there's something for each of us, and we all got something out of it. So it's very interesting. So thank you again, Anna. Thank you for your information. Meng, your turn. Your first time to Peru. What were your expectations and your experience beside the altitude sickness, right? We we have an anecdote with Meng, because I gave him instructions before you got on the plane, take this pill, and that was going to help you. You will not feel the altitude that much. And he said, at the end of the day, he was feeling it. He said, "No, I didn't take the pill because I wanted to experience it. I didn't know what it was." Well, you got it, so you know how it feels. What were your expectations, and what was your experience?
I went to Peru with an open mind, and it just go in there and welcome everything. And I don't know, it just feel like a call for me. Like Antonio called me for the last minute before the trip closes. He invited me to go, and I never thought about it. I was like, sure, I would love to go. So I went there with an open mind, and what I experienced is more than I can ask for in terms of the spirit, the land, and everything on there. And I found something out that I was missing for these years. And what the gentleman, I forgot the gentleman over there, at the when we met him.
The guy, the Paco, the shaman.
The shaman, yeah.
Oh yeah, Paco, right.
He told me, he whispered something to me, which I really needed to know and to live by. And it makes sense. It's something that I but something to open up with me. And for one thing, also when I was there, I have so much energy. I feel like I was.
Oh, tell me about it. It was difficult to control you. You were all over the place. Irina, you're on mute. You're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, mute again?
No. That's for Irina.
Exhausted, is doing Tai Chi on the top of the
Oh yeah, yeah. Your microphone is very high, so that's why we cannot hear very well. But what you're saying is that all of us were exhausted, and man was doing Tai Chi in the top of the mountain, which is true. It was, I mean, it was a special event and a special time for me as well because Meng and I know each other, and Meng is going to be my son's. He's going to be my son's future father-in-law. Our kids are getting married next year in April, so it was a time for us to connect as well. So it was very nice. What else did you get? What else did you experience, Meng?
Um, like I said, I come back home and more at peace within myself,
Yeah,
and open up my
I'm
heart.
going. I'm going to mention something that I know you enjoyed very much. The fruits. Different kind of fruits.
Yeah,
He went to the market and he was amazed with all the kind of fruits and vegetables there, right?
yeah. Um, I grew up with those fruit, and it's just like seeing it again. It was amazing. And when you guys left, and I stay in Lima, I bought 4 or 5 different type of fruit and eat in the hotel and enjoyed it slowly.
Very good. You even went on what was it, a paragliding,
Uh,
right? In Lima.
yeah, paragliding. We just if you get a chance to do it, you get to see the coastline. It's just beautiful and amazing. It's not scary at all, guys. That it's just amazing. You get to see the coastline and the whole city from a bird's eye, an eagle's eyes view.
Very
Yeah.
nice. I wouldn't do it, but you're brave. You're a brave one.
No, I would love for them to take it off the cliff, but the weather was just a little too hot,
Yeah.
too windy that night. But it was great. Um, but one thing I would like to say, Antonio, thank you for having me on the trip. You were
Oh,
very
it's my
accommodating.
pleasure.
The trip was more than I expected, and when I whispered to you, and every place we go, I said it keep getting better. It did got better, yeah. And it just having the logo to show us, and it was wonderful. And Hector did an amazing job.
Yeah, Hector, who I guess destiny put him in my path. We met in 2019 when I went to Cusco by myself. Just kind of scouting because my first time in Cusco was when I was 18 years old, and I knew stuff had changed, and I wanted to bring people, so I went there by myself. And he happened to sit next to me on the train to Machu Picchu, and that's how we started what is now our friendship. He's a friend now, and with him, I organized the trip in the best possible way. And he's not only he's a good guy, he's an excellent human being, you know. So he's on top of every detail. He really cares for the people he's with, and that was also a bonus for all of us. So yeah, perfect. Thank you. So yes, Irina.
funny things was we have a beautiful time, like no rain, not at all. Like that's what he cannot even believe it.
Right. I organized this during in March because it's the end of rain season and everything is green. And if we go to Lima, it's still summer. It's almost the end of summer. So it is nice. That's why I choose. And it's cheaper, of course. It's not high season. And it's before Easter. So it's more convenient for everybody. So I don't want to take that much time from you, but if anybody wants to share, what is it that you got from this trip? What is it that you feel like, oh, I got this from this time together? Yes, Sabrina.
Well, one thing I got was that I am so much more capable physically than I
Oh
ever
my God.
knew.
I was amazed, Sabrina. You did as
And
much as we did. You were doing better than me.
well, I don't know about that, but I will say that Hector, I know played a part in that because he just, he didn't hold us back from ourselves. And I now understand that the limitations that I put on myself, as we all do, is more in our own mind
No, don't mind.
than anything else. So I came back with a lot of confidence in my physical self, And my heart, I felt like I had an opening of my heart. Um, and just enriched soulfully in so many levels, things that I don't really hadn't thought about before, but I came back very full and enriched. And there was something else I wanted to say. Well, there's so many things I want to say, but I will say that normally when I travel, I'm the person doing the organizing and the planning. And you and Hector did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Uh, it was just like you said, Irina. I felt very safe, and it was such a full experience on so many levels. So it wasn't just this little contained trip. It was so robust. There was so much to it, and I really appreciated that. So
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you. Yeah. There's good chemistry between Hector and I. So when we're in this tour, it's like two friends guiding more friends, right? So that's how it feels. And yeah, I'm for those interested, I'm there with you the whole time, And of course, I'm from Peru. I know the language. You don't need to know Spanish. You do know Spanish, Sabrina, which is amazing, right? You're from the U.S. and you know Spanish, but I'm there. So and Cusco is safe and people are very nice. So no need to worry. You can be around Cusco. They really really protect tourists there because they understand that's their source of income and how they make their living. So good. Thank you, Sabrina. What about anybody? Yes, Nicole, go ahead. Feel free.
I'd like to add our tour guide. If we would have went on our own, we were talking about that and visited the mountains, and it wouldn't have been the same. Knowing the stories behind it,
Yes.
and when he was explaining every place that we were going, he was explaining the history and the stories and all of that. And I just loved his stories. Well, they're not really stories. I mean, it's the culture and everything,
Right.
but it just made it more enriching when you visit and you know the background of it a
Right.
little, because there's much more. He can't tell us everything, but I just loved the way he would explain it. And we had our little things in the ear, so we
This is
heard everything.
this one new this time. So I brought a transmitter for Hector and receivers, right? So you had him on your ear the whole time. You could be walking and listening to what he was saying, and it made everything so much easier and more effective. And you're right, Hector is really good sharing history. He doesn't stop talking the whole trip. He's full
Amazing.
of knowledge and he shares all of that with us. So it's good. Good. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody that, oh, yes, Serena. Yes.
Again, he was like a walking encyclopedia,
True.
but not just dry information. There was much more depth to it, I think, than just you could open a book up and he had all of that knowledge, but he was really connected to it as well.
Right.
And I appreciated that.
So I'm thinking he knows, well, he speaks Spanish. He's from Cusco. He speaks English. I know that he speaks Portuguese,
And French.
French. He speaks
Mhm.
French. And he's,
Yes.
yeah. He's telling me he's now receiving people that coming from France, and he's practicing more French now. So it's interesting. He started to be a guide and he's awesome. Good.
So,
Anybody else? Yeah.
Antonio, one more thing. I
Hmm.
just wanted to say that I took notes while we were on the trip, and I revisited those notes. I also made notes after I got home. And I'm so glad I did that because, just in your mind, you forget things. And
Right.
as I look back through the photographs, which is just like bathing in that energy of Peru again when I look through the
Right.
photograph. But when I look through my notes, wow, it's still
It's a
with
lot
me.
of info. And
Yeah.
we have the WhatsApp chat, the WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
and all that is written there. So it's good. Good. Um, Anybody else? Anything you want to say? Maybe about well, we already talked about the experience, the offering to Pachamama, which this guy was amazing. This Paco was amazing, in my opinion, and the place was magical, right? The energy of Cusco. You can talk about the people. We already talked about the guide. Anything you want to say, or any advice you want to give to people that might be thinking of joining this trip?
I will say something.
Sure.
Guys, do not hesitate. Book the trip. It's going to be amazing. Everyone has different experience. Don't put expectation. Just go with open heart. And it's one of the most spiritual place of the world. One of them, and it's important to visit if you are already on the trip. For everyone is different, but everyone get richer after this trip.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Rina.
Yeah.
Yes, Jean.
Well, I will just ditto that and say the beauty of how you and Hector are connected at the heart. Really, that really makes the trip even that more special. And, you know, the day with the Paco at that spot and the food, I mean, it was like it wasn't even of this world, you know, that's how wonderful that day was. And the food and just everyone and the beauty of where we were. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean. Awesome. Yes, Meng.
Well, for those who haven't gone there, I recommend they gone. You get something out of it, either the culture, the scenery, the view, but most important for me, I found out from the inside, I learned something about myself that's very positive. And for one last time, Antonio, thank you for having us. And for everybody, thank you. It was a wonderful group. I've been to a lot of tour group. This is probably the best one I had. Look like we are, related in the term of interest in a lot of ways. So everybody was great.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Meng. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good. So,
I will
yes, Anna.
I will add also that the group was amazing. It was a profound soul connection, like
It
we
was.
recognize each other, and also the energy there, like a very powerful energy, especially at Machu Picchu. My body was vibrating.
Yes.
And I want to add, for anyone who wants to go there, to not miss this opportunity to go with you in that trip.
Thank you.
And with Hector, he's a very, very good guy.
Right.
Thank you.
Good.
I feel blessed.
Thank you. And I feel blessed to have all of you as part of my life, and Catherine, also my wife, connected us amazingly with you guys. And I want you again, thank you for trusting in what I had to offer and what Cusco did. Oh, we cannot hear you, Rina. Go ahead.
Thank you to her.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate this. I'm sure that anybody that is interested in joining the trip is going to benefit from this information. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
It's good to see everybody.
Yes, it is. The connections we made, not only the connections of that place, it's the human connections of our group that we made.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be, each and every one of you will be in my heart, I think, forever.
Forever.
Yes.
It's a connection that will always be there. So it's very special. It's not just the place, but the connections that we make
You're right.
in the group is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me stop the recording now.